Hello there, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to the news live on Channel I. I'm Nitya Chandra.
And I'm Dhamik Eknaik. Coming up, a top stories. Remains of Sri Lankan music maestro laid at Independence Square for last respects. Final rites of Dr. Pandit W.D. Amardeva to be conducted tomorrow evening. The President expects honest commitment of officials to protect environment from racketeers. The Prime Minister spells out plans to digitalise Sri Lanka to meet future socio-economic challenges. Bail application of former parliamentarian Thisatha Naika rejected. Parliamentarian Vimal Weeramansa indicted. NDTV taken off air for 24 hours.
In your top story this evening, the final rites of maestro of Sri Lankan music, Dr. Pandit W.D. Amaradeva, will be conducted tomorrow with full state honours. The remains are kept at the Independence Square for the public to pay their last respects. President Maithripala Sirisena also paid his last respects to Maestro Amaradeva today. The remains were brought to the Independence Square from Jayaratna Funeral Parlour at Poralla in a motorcade. People's representatives, artists, students and a large number of persons also joined the parade. People who gathered beside the road paid their last respects to Maestro Amaradeva. Various persons, including people's representatives and artists, who expressed their views about the demise, said it is a great loss to the nation. When the motorcade reached Premakirti, the Alvis Mawatha President Maithripala Sirisena, who joined it in front of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, paid floral tributes to the remains. Minister Dayasri Jayasekara, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Attorney-at-Law Ravi Jayawardena, and the staff of SLRC and the SLBC also paid their last respects to Maestro Amaradeva. A large number of persons gathered to pay their last respects to the remains when it was laid at the Independence Square. The public can pay their last respects to Maestro Amaradeva till 3 p.m. tomorrow.
The Minister of Home Affairs requests the nation to pay its last tribute to late Dr. Pandit W.D. Amaradeva by hoisting the national flag at half-mast on the day of his final rites tomorrow. Addressing a media briefing held at the Ministry, Minister Vajira Abeyewardena requested the public to put up white flags as well. The Minister requested the public to hoist the national flag at half-mast and put up white flags as well in honour of the late Sri Lankan music maestro Dr. Pandit W.D. Amaradeva. The time afforded for them to pay the last respects will end at 3 p.m. tomorrow. After religious observances are conducted, the final rites will be carried out at 3:30 p.m. A special traffic plan will come into effect tomorrow in the surrounding areas of Independence Square. Furthermore, liquor shops, meat stalls and cinema halls within the Colombo Municipal Council limits will be kept closed tomorrow as well.
And now we take you down the life of the memory lane of the great times of the veteran musician Dr. Pandit W.D. Amaradeva.
Maestro Amaradeva is an eternal icon in the local music arena who pioneered in introducing a musical tradition unique to the country. He was fluent in Sanskrit, Pali as well as in English in addition to Sinhala. The influence of scholars at that time widened the creativity of Pandit Amaradeva. It helped to make his creations eternal as well. Many cinematic creations were also nurtured from the background scores of Maestro Amaradeva. Folk music as well as music traditions such as Hindustani enriched the creations of Pandit Amaradeva. Musician Sri Vishnu Govind Jog, who taught Maestro Amaradeva in India, named his grandson after him in honor of his best student. His background scores in many cinematic creations such as Ranmathuduva, Gatavarayu, Saravita and Gamperaliya were hailed as major junctures in local cinema. Even his musical shows were able to leave many eternal memories in the hearts of musical lovers. Maestro Amaradeva was the guiding light behind many students for a number of decades. Even the people in Maldives honor him as he is the composer of the Maldivian national anthem. The demise of Pandit Amaradeva has created a void in the local music arena. However, his creations will remain eternal.
ඔබට යහපතක්ම වේවා සුබ රාත්‍රියක් මම ඔබෙන් සමුගන්න නිහතමානී කලාවේදියා අමරදේව මල ඉර බසිනා සැන්දෑයාමි ඔබගෙන් සමුගන්නම්
Maestro Amaradeva entertained his fans for the final time on the 30th of last month. He was the chief guest of the ceremony organised to felicitate Venerable Rambukana Siddhartha Thera, who completed 4 decades in his artistic journey. The event was held at BMICH. The service rendered by Venerable Rambukana Siddhartha Thera as a lyricist was commended on the occasion. While praising the creativity of Venerable Siddhartha Thera, Maestro Amaradeva sang one of his creations. It was the last occasion Maestro Amaradeva entertained his fans.
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ එදා මා හමුවන්නට ගිහිල්ලා මේ පිළිබඳව කිව්වා. නමුත් අත් වශයෙන්ම මේ වැඩසටහනේ ගීතක් ගායනා කළ යුතු නැත. ඔබතුමාගේ පැමිණීම පමණක් අපට ඇති කියලා කිව්වා. අත් වශයෙන්ම දැන් මේ සසර දනව්වේ දුක් පීඩා විඳ නවාතැන් සොයා අප යනවා ඒ යන ගමනේ කොතැනකදී හෝ බුදු හිමි සෙවනේ සීල ලැබේවා. ඒ තමයි මගේ පැතුම. සිද්ධාර්ථ හිමි යන මංගක් ඉතාමත්ම ගෞරව කරන ආදරය කරන හිමි නමක්. එදා අවුත් මාත් එක්ක හුඟක් කතා කරා. ඉතින් මේ සසර දරාමේ දුක් පීඩා විඳ නවාතැන් සොයා අප යනවා. ඒ යන ගමනේ කොතැනකදී හෝ බුදු හිමි සෙවනේ සිහිල ලැබේවා. මම මේ සමාප්ත කරනවා මගේ පැතුම. ඔබ හැමට මගේ ප්‍රණාමය.
Now, President Maithripala Sirisena has reviewed the activities of the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau and the Central Environmental Authority. The President engaged in an inspection visit to both the institutions last evening. After reviewing the activities of the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau, President Maithripala Sirisena held a discussion with its chairman and the top officials. They presented the action plan for the next 4 years of the CECB to the President. He was also enlightened on the contributions made by the institution with regards to the development of the country. In response, President Maithripala Sirisena was of the view that the CECB should play a key role to promote the green building concept. He pointed out the assistance can be extended by the institution to make water supply projects such as Moragahakanda, Kaluganga and Umaoya successful. A group of officials led by Chairman of the Bureau, G.D. Jayatilak, attended the meeting. Subsequently, the President reviewed the activities of the Central Environmental Authority. He emphasized the authority is entrusted with the responsibility of protecting the environment for the future generation. The President stated the officials should honestly commit themselves to protect the environment from racketeers. Furthermore, he was also of the view that all institutions that fall under the purview of the authority should be watchful whether the persons who obtain license for sand mining and deforestation are carrying out their work honouring these conditions. Chairman of the authority, Lal Mervin Dharmasiri, and several officials attended the meeting.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasises the government has taken measures to digitalise Sri Lanka in order to successfully face future socio-economic challenges. The Premier made this disclosure while addressing the 15th Asia-Pacific Summit for German Enterprises held at the International Convention Exhibition Centre in Hong Kong today. Intellectuals, lawmakers and entrepreneurs of Asia-Pacific region and in Germany are participating in the event. Overcoming current global economic challenges, issues related to open and closed markets, digitalisation and investments were among the topics discussed. The Premier, who joined a special dialogue, elaborated on the measures taken by Sri Lanka.
Give a very, very warm welcome to the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe.
To come to Sri Lanka. We are one of the highest. That's one of the sectors to which we are giving priority because value added in the digital industry, in the software industry is what we will focus on. But for this, now we have introduced free Wi-Fi centers throughout the country, at least 1,000 I said in the first round. Concession loans are given to university students to buy laptops. We are increasing the number of institutes that are giving IT training. We need more engineers. We are welcoming investments in IT education. And now we are having compulsory, 13 years of compulsory education. And in the next 2 years, all the upper secondary students will be given tablets free of charge.
Meanwhile, Germany has assured its fullest support for Sri Lanka to regain the GSP Plus tax concession. Its Vice-Chancellor, Sigmar Gabriel, stated this today when she met Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Minister Malik Samaravikrama, German Ambassador to Sri Lanka, John Rode, Secretary of the Prime Minister, Saman Ekanayake, and Sri Lankan Ambassador in China, Karunasena Kodituak, were also present on the occasion.
Now, a major fire broke out at the auditorium of Muses College in Colombo this afternoon. The auditorium was badly damaged from the fire. The fire was reported from the upper floor of the auditorium around 3:30 p.m. today. The fire brigade of the Colombo Municipal Council doused the fire. No injuries were reported. A person who inhaled toxic fumes was hospitalized. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A Rupani reporter who reported the incident from the premises had to face a dangerous situation.
ගුණාකාරයේ අභියස මේ වෙනකොටත් ඊට ඔබට වෙණී යනවා ඊට විශාල වශයෙන් ඇතින යන ආකාරය ඊට විශාල වශයෙන් ඇතින යන ආකාරය මේ වෙනකොටත් මේ ස්ථානයේ බොහොම අවදානම් සහිත තත්ත්වයක් තමයි ඇති වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
Now, Minister Sajith Premadasa says a new reawakening village will be built after Maestro of Sri Lankan music, Pandit W.D. Amaradeva. The minister made this disclosure while joining the ceremony held today to commission the Edri Managama model village at Bamanakotua, Kurunegala. It is comprised of 24 houses. The village is equipped with all infrastructure facilities. The minister also engaged in an inspection visit to the village. The beneficiaries were awarded with the ownership, deeds and gifts. In addition, Vissery housing loans were presented to 462 beneficiary families, while professional tools were given away to 170 trainees of Shilpa Savia program.
Enlightening sponsors of national television's programme Parissamen Gihinenna took place yesterday. The main objective of this national programme is to reduce road accidents by 50% within a year. The government is bound to reduce half of the road accidents by year 2020 under the Sustainable Development Goals. At least 7 persons die in Sri Lanka daily from road accidents. It is nearly 3,000 a year. The main objective of this programme is to reduce the number by 50% within a year. All government institutions involved in the transport sector, non-governmental organisations and the private sector have joined this cause. Sri Lanka Rupawani Corporation is the pioneer institute involved in the national programme titled Parissamen Gihinenna. A road safety week has been declared from the 1st of December in connection with this initiative. Chairman of SLRC, Attorney at Law Ravi Jayawardena and Director General Professor Sunil Shanta as well as sponsors were present on the occasion.
Something completely different, and this is something I would like to ask all of you.
Chairman of the SLRC pointed out road accidents are the main challenge that we face as a nation after the war. He said, therefore, the SLRC is ready to change its traditional role as a media institute by joining hands with all sectors of the society to reduce road accidents.
Now, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into Serious Corruption and Malpractices indicted 3 persons, including parliamentarian Wimal Weerawansa and former IGP Mahinda Balasurya, today. They are accused of transferring a house and 6 trade stores at low rates and misusing of public property by providing police personnel to members of National Freedom Front who are not parliamentarians. Meanwhile, the bail application of former parliamentarian Tissa Tanaika was rejected today. It was taken up before Colombo Magistrate Judge Kusala Sarojini Veeravardena. The judge stated the suspect cannot be granted bail based on the reasons mentioned.
Now we deviate momentarily from local news to have a look at the US election race. Now Trump, confident in election victory, urges supporters to vote as White House race tightens. This is our segment on the US election race, Battle for the White House.
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump was confident in election victory as he urged his supporters to go out and vote during a campaign rally in Selma, North Carolina yesterday. The two presidential candidates are now tied in Florida and North Carolina, and Clinton's lead in Michigan has narrowed so much that the state is too close to call. Ohio remains a dead heat, and Pennsylvania is now tilting to Clinton.
In 5 days, we're going to win the great state of North Carolina, and we are going to win back the White House, believe me. You know, we have a movement that this country has never seen. They're writing about it, they're talking about it all over the world, and we want to make sure it happens. Otherwise, to me, not quite the same, right? Not quite the same. We want to get it finished off. So get out there before Tuesday or on Tuesday, and let's finish it off.
Meanwhile, Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's bid to become the next U.S. president suffered a setback after the Federal Bureau of Investigation announced that it is examining newly discovered emails on Clinton's top aide Huma Abedin's computer.
I made a mistake using a private email.
That's for sure.
And if I had to do it over again, I would obviously do it differently. But I'm not going to make any excuses. It was a mistake, and I take responsibility for that.
And now for a look around Asia in 1 minute.
Tens of thousands of hardline Muslims are marching against the governor of Jakarta, demanding he is prosecuted for blasphemy. The death toll from a coal mine blast in China rises to 33 after rescuers recovered the bodies of miners missing after the explosion. A woman in the South Indian state of Kerala has alleged that police asked her lewd questions when she tried reporting that she had been gang raped. A bushfire is threatening to burn homes in Sydney today as Australian firefighters try to control the blaze. China launched its largest carrier rocket, the Long March 5, in southern Hainan province yesterday, taking the country one step closer to its space ambition.
The governor of the Northern Province, Reginald Kures, says all North and South should be committed to achieve reconciliation. He made this remark while addressing a media briefing held in Colombo today. The governor of Northern Province said some persons in North and South question whether reconciliation should be confined to one province. Reginald Kures stated he is of the view that reconciliation should be within the entire country. There are elements that are against it in both the provinces. Tamils in the country enjoy peace today. However, they are in fear whether the situation will change from an accident or more like an incident. Furthermore, there is a rumour spread by certain parties in South that travelling to North can be dangerous, but there is no truth in it. There was a Hartal campaign conducted over the deaths of 2 Jaffna students, or more like youths, but it was utterly peaceful. That is because the people in Jaffna do not want terrorism to resurface based on this incident. The leaders from North do not talk only about issues in the North but in South as well. Furthermore, they should express views on common topics such as cost of living and human rights without confinement to issues faced by Tamil community.
Now, the 60th anniversary show of Professor Edrivira Sarachandra's Moname, staged at the Lionel Wendt Theatre in Colombo yesterday. It was first staged on the 3rd of November 1956. The play, which is based on Chula Danudara Jataka story, can be defined as one of the greatest stage plays of Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Education has included the stage play Maname in the school curriculum in order to uplift the artistic knowledge of students. A group of MPs and ministers, including former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga and Minister of Mass Media Ganta Karunatilaka, as well as artists, were present at the occasion.
And now to bring you up to date on the share market, the All Shares Price Index closed at 6,435.17 points, dropped by 6.92 points, and the S&P SL20 Index closed at 3,608.55 points, also dropped by 1.85 points at the end of the trading in Colombo Stock Exchange today. The turnover was over 275 million rupees.
Stay tuned for foreign news coming up next.
Welcome back. Now it's time to have a look at news from around the world. Indian news channel NDTV will be taken off air for 24 hours as a penalty for its coverage of an attack on an Air Force base. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting said NDTV Hindi revealed strategically sensitive details while covering the attack on the Pathankot Air Force Base in January. NDTV denied the accusation, saying its coverage was particularly balanced. 7 Indian soldiers and 6 militants were killed in the attack. India accused Pakistan-based group Jaish-e-Mohammed of carrying out the assault. The ministry said channel could be taken off air on the 9th of November for 24 hours while revealing information, or more like for revealing information, on ammunition and the locations of military planes. This is believed to be the first order against an Indian broadcaster over its coverage of terrorist attacks.
Now, Minister Dayasri Jayasekara says all sports personnel should act with discipline under the Sri Lankan flag. He stated this while joining the ceremony to award contracts and insurance covers for inter-club players by the Sri Lanka Cricket Institute. It was held at the auditorium of Sports Ministry yesterday. Contracts, insurance cars and sports equipment were presented to 70 inter-club players at the occasion. In addition, sports equipment were given away to 17 school cricketers as well. Sports Minister Dayasri Jayasekara and Chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket Institute Tilanga Sumathipala were present at the occasion.
Jeevan Mendis, Mahela Udavatta,
The minister who addressed the function said it is the responsibility of all players to keep their names clean. The Sri Lanka Cricket Institute imposed a 2 to 3 years ban on certain cricketers who breached the disciplinary conduct of the SLC. He pointed out it can create a massive impact on the careers of those players. Now, in your weather update, the Met Department says that the depression in the central Bay of Bengal, now located about 900 kilometers to the northeast of Sri Lanka, there is no direct effect on the country. However, showers or thunder showers at times and cloudy skies can be expected to continue at most parts of the island. Heavy falls can be expected at some places until the 7th of November. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere, particularly after 2 p.m. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and southern provinces during the mornings. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity.
And that's all from us at Rupani Chala English News. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Covering the truth.